You have already referenced in your replay that the hard mode is challenging, and for everyone who's maybe not as familiar with the esports scene right now and maybe don't really know what exactly this hard mode is, just let me introduce it to you while Pato is like setting up this opening for his dragon attack with the Royal Champion charge. The defense overall deals 20% more damage, and this as well is scaling with rage towers possibly, so you have some crazy numbers there. Defending heroes, the damage and health are increased by 20% on top of that, while the attacking heroes, the damage and the health are decreased by 10%. So the defending heroes are way stronger, while the attacking heroes are way weaker. On top of that, equipments, the common ones are capped at level 15 instead of level 18, and the epic equipments are capped on level 21 instead of level 27. So this is why the pros might struggle so much while you and your regular attacks are like 3-starring non-stop. This is not because the pros are bad or anything, no, because they're playing in this specific mode to really challenge themselves and really make sure that the pros are having a great time within those attacks and really can showcase who is the best player out there. With this one, back into the attack. The Royal Champion charge is about to be over, and the dragons should start really soon.
Wow, that timing was impeccable, Itsu. GG's on that, bud. But yeah, you're right. Here come the dragons right through the town hall. That Royal Champion gutted the whole, kind of all the way from that left corner, all the way down towards the monolith. Didn't quite get the monolith. That's okay. Does a great job setting this one up. Does have to fight the sweeper, though, here for Pato, as he's going to work in with the dragons, protecting them with the Eternal Tome. And this one's off to a great start by a lot of base remaining. We've seen a lot of great starts fizzle out with that extra damage from the defenses and the defending heroes.
Oh no, and take a look at that. The multi-arch tower and the elephant staying alive from this top left side. This means the Mini Prince has to backtrack now. Nothing fun on the top left side. And the dragons, as you said, in this core, it is rough. So many air traps are popping up. The Mini Prince, even with the metal pens, cannot really tank enough to survive. And this attack is falling short really quick. With not having a high percentage whatsoever, there is not many troops or even buildings which you can use and take advantage of to increase the percentage. So it would be like a mid, like 75, maybe he's getting some more buildings, maybe even below 80% 2-star attack. And this is not really how you would like to start the match.
No, not at all. But what's crazy is how fast these attacks do fizzle out. Because like if I'm doing a regular war and I'm attacking and I see that setup, I'm like, oh man, I have a really good shot at tripling. But here for Pato's attack, we just saw all those dragons
they really want to see who are the best players out there. And I think with this tougher challenge and tougher meta overall, it is exactly what they're looking for. Now it is up to Max to really get this 3-star in here. And he is bringing as well some droids with the Root Riders together.
Yeah, very interesting combination here. We haven't seen this quite yet. We do have the fireball on the Warden, so he's going to look to set that up. But you got to be careful, because if that Warden gets too close to the Ricochet cannon with the Expo, you talked about it in the previous war, it can be enough to take that Warden down. Has to commit an invis along with that raid, as the multi-archer tower was looking to go ahead and deal some damage to that Warden as well. You don't want that fireball going off too early, and he gets the multi-archer tower down, which will allow this Warden just to set up a little bit more. But also keep an eye on those Teslas down there at the bottom. We've seen Teslas play a big factor in these fireballs, but Max is doing a great job managing. Here comes the invis, and here comes the fireball right on the rage tower.
Nice. But the defending queen, he has to be careful. There's a headhunter. Is that too late? He has to invest the freeze because the headhunter was a little bit late. But the rage aura is keeping right now everything healthy. There are some test loons, but we have seen this now. A lot of those teams are using, especially behind the town hall, some red mine farms. And this is why we're seeing that new siege flinging those barrels into the attack itself. Then we typically see at some point some test loons in there. Ice golems are working great. Even we have seen super Valkyries getting flinged into that attack to really have some nice effect further inside the core.
But also you got to remember, you get those free troops in there. You get the giants, you get wall breakers, you get archers. So it also provides a little bit of extra tanking, which is nice. Not to mention the wall breakers. I guess you don't really need the wall breakers with roots, but it can open up the base just a little bit more. That queen is doing some really nice work, but keep an eye on that merge multi defense right there. It's locked onto the Yeti, but it is staying up. We've seen that new defense be such a factor today, and it is still standing and dealing out so much damage right here to Max's troops.
Yeah, the Bitter Hut was able to keep it alive a little bit longer. And right now there's only giants, but finally it's going down. And Bash, this is looking really, really solid. The Royal Champion about to take down this Monolith. And if that defense falls, this looks really good with the King being still alive. And the healers even keeping that Royal Champion alive. There is 4 heroes alive. That is crazy.
Yeah, he had the snake bracelet on the King. You talked about it earlier. That snake bracelet able to provide the tanking from those snakes. It's really, really nice. You don't really think about it as much in normal mode, but in hard mode, those snakes are a big, big factor. All the heroes are going to finish this one off, and Max is going to get the first triple on the board for HTM, and they are up early in this war. Even just like the hero equipment levels plays a big factor, and we've seen that time and time again. Achilles is coming in now with a Warden Fireball with rocket loons, but actually starting off the World Champion early. Spirit Fox going to go ahead and protect her. She's able to launch those rocket spears deep inside the base, taking out some of those merged defenses early, but she goes down early. Here comes the Warden from the top left side, gonna make his way in and maybe target the Town Hall with the Fireball. Only 2 Quakes for the Warden, so maybe just look to get the CC down. I guess we'll have to see what he does with that as he's setting this one up pretty nice. World Champion did a good job on the bottom though.
Yeah, now using the Flame Flinger down here as well to get some more value. Yes, be careful though with possible more Tesla spots around. But so far this looks really good. And the Town Hall with a long range is actually a really big threat to any Warden charge. You will see that in a second as the Warden is stepping in range. Take a look at that. That's a lot of hit points always lost. And on top of that, ooh, is he alive? That is, yeah, he is somehow alive. Okay, I was about to say, because that defense, like the Town Hall in hard mode, is dealing a lot of damage, and it's never to be underestimated. And the siege already open as we're talking about the Warden at the Town Hall.
Yeah, the Town Hall deals so much damage, but I think he's going to go ahead and try to walk out that Town Hall with the Warden. But he does have that Battle Builder healing back up some of that damage that he already dealt to the Town Hall. But now the Warden's going to finally target that Town Hall. He's able to get everything else going. Skeleton Spell into tank for the King and Queen as they make their way into that merged multi-archer tower up top. And here comes some rocket loons to provide some support as well. Now he's going to try to keep the Warden on his own. You don't want the Warden pulling over to the King Queen. You want the Warden to work his way through the middle. But you got to keep an eye on that Monolith as the Warden's making his way over. It's going to deal out tons and tons of damage.
Ooh. Nice invisibility as the scatter shot was shooting that Warden as well. The Monolith is going down, but there is no Royal Champion on the back end since he used that in the beginning to take down some of the defenses which could outrange the Flame Flinger. And the Rocket Loons, yes, he says 10 Rocket Loons left, but this Warden needs to do a lot of work as the Queen is struggling a little bit at this top side.
Yeah, I thought the Queen went down, but I think that was one of the cloned Queens there. Because I thought the Queen went down, but she's actually full health up there. Warden's still marching along fine. He's still got 10 rocket balloons. There's a lot of defenses still remaining. Only 30 seconds on this attack. Here come those rocket balloons coming in from the bottom side. Everything's got to collapse. Minion Prince gets frozen along with the new merged multi-tower that's in long mode there. It's going to deal a little bit more damage, but it's only going to be single shots. If he can collapse down on that defense, there's not going to be too much left on the space, but time is a factor. 98, 99, Queen's going to get it. It's a 3-star for a Team Elevate and Achilles, and they're right back in.
But just so impressive.
I did exactly what you said, Itsu, after watching some esports in the new hard mode. I was like, oh, this can't be too bad. We'll just Rocket Loon Warden. I lost my Warden in like 10 seconds because I underestimated those defenses. It is crazy hard. World Champion coming in here for Crispy as HTM looking to respond. Remember, they did get the triple first, so they do have a little wiggle room, but if you can keep that momentum up, it's going to be really good. This has a couple of the invises here to pair with that Spirit Fox and the Royal Champion, doing a great job managing the Spirit Charge, pulling up the Clan Castle, getting those scatter shots down. Going to go to the multi Infernos next. Also, the Ice Golems are out, so he'll be able to pull them out. Should recall this Royal Champion really soon as well. Great value there from the RC.
That was amazing value, getting all of the pathing. Like, the value is always in between of two different things. First off, the buildings itself, which you get down, which means like how important is the defense which you were able to take down, but as well like how good is the pathing which we are able to set up. And with taking down the core like this, that is just the perfect pathing then for the Root Riders to follow. So I think this looks really good. Entering with the Queen on the far right side now with the Root Riders. I like that he's going with the side where there is not the multi-inferno tower, because that is not as easy to reach for the Root Riders pathing-wise, because there's the storage in between and Root Riders are going from defense to defense. So he's making sure that the inferno tower is on the back end and not completely frying his healers. Instead, picking, in my opinion, the right side, and this already as an opening is looking really solid.
Yeah, I love the opening here, but this Town Hall compartment is loaded. There's a Rage Tower in there, there's this multi-geared tower, there's the Town Hall, there's Fire Spitters, there's heroes. There's a lot of damage. Goes ahead and hits the Warden ability, which will negate all of that damage for the time being as the Rage Tower goes off. If they can get that multi-geared tower down, that would be amazing. But everything is pathing around a little bit as the Warden's Eternal Tome does start to wear off. That multi-gear tower is dealing out so much damage to the Minion Prince, and he's going to go down rather quickly. Going to Phoenix. Town Hall falls. Giga Bomb blows up some of those roots. They're spinning around here. A lot of damage being dealt, but he's still got a lot of force. Let's see if he can power through this compartment.
The Phoenix luring all of those red mines. That is so crucial to keep those healers alive. Only one red mine actually hit the healers, and this means he should have enough healing to power through the back end if everything goes right. He has only a couple of super barbs left at this point and no spells, but he has a lot of troops at this stage of the attack with the Inferno Tower being in the core. But right now, not able to provide as much damage. 26 seconds left, and this is actually a huge overkill for Crispy. The Royal Team in charge was so impressive with taking down the core, setting up the pathing, and then the follow-up was just beautiful, and this means HTM getting back-to-back 3 stars. This is the first time we have everything else now, and they're just going in again with the Warden charge. I hope that we are set and ready, because this will again push up our blood pressure, because those Warden charges are intense every single time.
Yeah, doing a great job with the Flame Flinger over on the left, and really he can get a lot of value out until he gets to that monolith, so that's really nice. But this Warden is definitely, oh, he's gonna go with the early fireball, gonna blow up the Ricochet Cannon and those Expos, which have actually been a lot of threat to the Warden. Ricochet Cannon hangs on there with just a little bit of health, but it's gonna be one shot from the Warden. But he does have to turn his focus over there. Actually going to go ahead and elect to use a rocket balloon, but Tesla intercepts that rocket balloon. Second rocket balloon is going to come in. He doesn't want that Ricochet Cannon locked onto his Warden. Gets it down. Great use of those rocket balloons right there. And that's why you kind of bring those rocket balloons in. They can be used as utility to support all of those heroes. And Leo is off to a strong start. Flame Flinger still looking really strong on the left. I like this open so far.
Yeah, this looks really good, adding those headhunters as well. And I think it's so interesting that he's even adding 2 headhunters to make sure that the defending king is taken care of even quicker, because time is always a big factor on those matches. Gemini Trap is triggered, which is nice for the back end. He even tried to pop this one Tesla to make sure that there is then, well, less randomness as the Warden is moving forward. The Flame Flinger at the same time, you mentioned it in the beginning, took down 2 of those merged defenses, which is amazing value. Let's see what is in there in the siege. It's Yetis. Okay, so the Yeti might even take down the monolith, depending on how they path.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go Pet House and then maybe in towards that storage. So I think with the Yeti Mites, as long as the air defense doesn't intercept too many of the Yeti Mites, he should be able to get the monolith down. Golem up top with the king, using the king's earthquake boots to go ahead and open up that top compartment. Queen's coming in there as well to accompany the king, excuse me. But I'm keeping an eye on those Yetis. Yeah, Yetis might get the monolith down. Now the Warden's got to get to the town hall. Keep an eye on him as there's ice golems, and he's under a lot of pressure, Itsu.
Oh yeah, as I said, the Warden is not having many hit points, and that town was doing more damage than you might expect. He's having to rage it again, Invis again to make sure that those troops are pathing away from the Warden. But right now they're getting lured into the Warden. The tunnel though is down. Only the Fire Spitter right now is firing at that Warden, and now he has to somehow get in 30 seconds 30% of the base, which is, he needs to really speed things up if he wants to collect that 3-star.
Well, one big problem is the king and queen really got nothing on the top side of the base. Look at that top compartment. The king and queen did not get a whole lot there. They got taken down rather quickly, but now you're right. He's got to just pretty much throw it all in, throw it all against the wall. It's not going to be a 3-star, but you got to get as many percentage points as you can as those rocket loons are in. Maybe a little bit too patient with the Warden walk. and Leo is gonna fall short against this HTM squad that has come out firing. 88%, very respectable, but against HTM, who
is ready. Can HTM go 3 out of 3? That would be crazy. And they're going in again with a similar approach with the Root Riders, but this time around with the Warden instead of the Royal Champion charge.
Yeah, Warden gonna go ahead and do a little bit of walking here. He does have the 4 Invises to set up this fireball with the 2 Earthquakes. We saw the Clan Castle troops be a big factor there in Leo's attack, slowing down the Warden and really causing a lot of issues. So if he can get in and get the CC down, he's gonna target the fireball onto the Rage Tower. So he's actually not gonna get to the Clan Castle, but he does set up some really nice pathing for all of his troops to go, it looks like right through the Town Hall actually.
Yeah, through the Town Hall. Without that explosion of the Town Hall, you can always enter into it nicely. And especially if you have it out early, this means it cannot really utilize the range as well, which is nice to have. And for that though, he needs to create this cut at the top side. There are a lot of Tesla, which make sure that the Root Riders right now are not going into the Town Hall itself. And the Tornado is delaying things even further. And oh, there are some Roots finally going for the Town Hall, but some of them are going to the outside. And having them split up is never a good thing for the healers.
Yeah, you want them all bunched together so those healers are going to heal them all up. There's a couple Ice Golems along with a Witch in there. Witches can be used to counter the Dragon attack pretty well. But the Roots with the Valkyries, the Witches aren't as big of a factor. Obviously, there's still going to be a little bit of a slowdown, but the Valkyries are just going to spin right on through them. Great use of the Rage spell to push all these troops a little bit further in. The King is taking some nice damage on the outside, but also spawning those snakes, I believe, in there. A lot of base here. It's starting to fade a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about it. The spread on these troops may be the big factor, so that the healers weren't able to keep those Roots healed. And this last compartment with that merge multi-cannon is just going to be so nasty.
Yeah, especially as the tanking of the Root Riders is not there anymore. Overpowering that back end won't be easy, but he has a lot of heroes left alive at this point, so maybe he can somehow overpower it. And depending on how the heroes are stepping into that Giga Bomb, for example, might be able to overpower it. There is the freeze, so the defense can't deal damage if it's frozen. King ability, Queen ability are still there, and the Royal Champion ability as well. There are the Hogs, but they're going to spawn right into the trap, and this means all of them are gone right away.
Yeah, but he got that defense down, which would have been a big factor for the Queen. She does still have ability. The King is still working on the outside as well. So he's still got the 2 heroes working here. I didn't see if the King has Vamp Stash on him. I would assume it does, because it looks like the King is healing up. Pops the Queen ability, and he's actually looking pretty good. Time's a little bit of a factor. He's just got to get over to this last compartment. Itsu, can HTM really go 3 for 3? I think time's going to be a factor, though.
Yeah, it's not like a little bit. It's like a huge factor for him as he's not able to push through because 98% is just 2 buildings short. But again, being 2 out of 3 and then having a 98% 2
on the attack from Banal, we got dragons. We have 12 Invises, so that heavy investment into that Royal Champion charge. And you talked about it a little bit earlier. It's harder to keep that Spirit Fox alive, but the longer he can keep that Spirit Fox alive, the better. That means the more value, the more stacking from the Spirit Fox Invis along with those Invis spells. So and try to manage that as best he can and set up this dragon attack, but the Fox is already gone.
Yeah, but as the first traps are popping up, you can see that those giant bombs were deployed there to really mess up those Royal Champion charges, so he has to be careful with that. He has the active ability, which is going to restore a couple of those hit points, and he's trying to push into the Monolith. Nice way of doing that. Question now is, how much more did he plan for? Did he plan for the sweepers? Did he just plan for 1 sweeper, 2 sweepers, poison towers? We will see and find out as he just took down one of them. But if he's going from the far side, which is like how he would be able to avoid the second sweeper, he would go into 2 fire spitters. And trust me, you don't want to do that. That's not good. Yes. And with going from the top right side, he's entering into the sweeper still. So I'm not sure how much value he actually got there then.
Yeah, or it looks like he might bring the dragons in from that side you were mentioning.
What?
He's going to go behind the sweeper, but right into the 2 fire spitters, which is going to be really, really tough. He does have that scatter shot facing him really early as well, along with that King, which the King is like, okay, King versus dragons, that's not a factor. But the King's going to hold those dragons there, so all those defenses can just get more damage on them. So it's a bigger factor than you would expect. He's yet to deploy his siege machine, can change that out at any time as well. I think he's just trying to feel out how these dragons are looking. And so far, they're doing okay, but they're also thinned out just a little bit.
Yeah, those fire spirits are just really like a big threat. The first fire spirit did already a lot of damage. The second one's about to start shooting. He's trying to push the dragons now inside that town hall with the king at the bottom side. But this won't be easy. Using down the minion prince ability with the metal pens and the dark orb to really make sure that he's pushing through all of that. But the town hall still has to go down as well, and there's quite a few of those key defenses left alive.
Yeah, but he's got Minion Prince there with Phoenix, so he's fine. Minion Prince doesn't actually even go to Phoenix, but he does have that Fire Spitter, that merged Archer Tower, the air defense, and it's on air attack, so he's going to get targeted pretty heavy here as the Phoenix does pop. Phoenix catches a Seeking Air Mine. Oh, no. And Barnall is looking like he's going to fall just short. Very, very respectable high 90, mid 90% attack here as it gets to 96. 96 is going to be it. But man, they need triples. They keep getting close. Bracket semis. So a lot of action here today, and it's going to be Spiz coming in. And it looks like this is their go-to right now, is Root Riders, whether they're going with the Spirit Charge or the Warden Walk. This seems to be their go-to for HTM.
Yeah, it's the same base as what Crispy already 3-starred in the beginning. It's the exact same Royal Champion charge, but this time around, everything is going wrong. Everything is not going in his favor. And this will be now the big question, like, what is he going to do? Because if he's entering from the bottom side, this could result in a 1-star, because the pathing this time around is not set up whatsoever. Elevate is known for running the same bases a couple of times, and that's exactly what they did with this one. And since the Royal Champion pathed a little bit differently than the first time, than what we're seeing with Crispy, this core, if the troops are not going for the Town Hall, this could be a 1-star. The Town Hall is so far away.
Yeah, remember, Crispy got the scatter shots, got the multi, one of the multis, and the Rage Tower all out, so it was a much better charge. But you're right, this is going to be really, really tough. Uses the Overgrowth there to take some of that damage away and push those roots even further. But with the Warden ability already going off, this Town Hall compartment is going to be so tough. Minion Prince does use that Dark Orb, which will slow up some of those defenses, but there is so much damage in this Town Hall compartment. He's making his way through. He's getting a lot of the damage dealt with, but also he's losing a lot of troops in the process.
Oh, the Town Hall has to go down. So far, the defending Minion Prince is tanking, and oh, finally the Town Hall is gone, so that at least the second star is secured. This, I feel like at this point, is one of the only ways on how they could lose this match, with like somehow getting a 1-star. The 3-star seems to be out of the picture, even though he gets way further than what I've expected. He played this really, really clean, but in the end, I feel like it's not going to be enough, because the Royal Champion had so little hit points going into the attack after recall, but managing to get above 90% after that opening is really impressive.
And remember, they have a huge advantage going into this attack, so they're really, really fine. If you're Elevate, you're going to have to triple and then hope for a big defense, probably a 1-star defense. A Spiz brings this back to a 90% attack, which, how this started, it looked like this was in a lot more danger of being a lower attack, maybe even 80%, but this getting up to 94, maybe 95% here, that's pretty respectable, pretty clean for Spiz. I really like what this HTM squad's doing. Their misses have been really, really close. Their triples have been really, really demanding. Like, they've just been really overwhelming these bases and doing a great job so far here in the World's Warm-Up Tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, the crazy thing to consider is this was their lowest attack on percentage so far in this stage of the tournament. 94% 2-star. I mean, some of the other teams were not even able to beat that to the overall meta. We see another Royal Champion. No, never mind. The Warden charge again from Team Elevate. It seems like really, okay, this is their approach to the meta. This is their understanding, okay, this strategy is the go-to strategy. And I can fully understand that. If everything goes right, this strategy, you just have so much control, but at the same time, things can go so wrong quickly as well. With that Warden already struggling with the hit points, but with the Rage, it should stay alive.
Yeah, I think he should be okay. Not too much damage over there now, especially with that Expo going down. You got to be careful. You got to be patient with that Jelly. Oh, okay, does a good job negating the Royal Champion there with the Headhunter. The Warden will have no issue taking her down. Flameflinger's still working there. But also, if you're Elevate, like, even though this war hasn't gone your way, when you're seeing a team like Team Elevate, like you got to think they're going to be okay. They're former world champions when they played under Clash Champs. Oh my goodness, look at this fireball. Goes deep into the core, gets that merge multi-tower, but watch the Warden. The Warden's getting low, actually going to go ahead and freeze and bring that Warden back up. Great job managing this attack, and that's what Seleno's so good at. Such a great multitasker. It's one of the hardest things to do in Clash Clans is multitask properly, but Seleno is one of the best at it.
But with the Rocket Loot, he lured a couple of archers. You need to utilize that rage to take down the monolith, otherwise there's going to be too much damage. He will try to get the Town Hall with that King and Queen push, most likely. Yep, there they go. They have to go inside, though. Minions are doing the their job of funneling. And with the Earthquake Boots, I would assume they're going to get towards the core. The Flame Flinger is opening as the Warden is struggling. He has to stay alive. The poison is there. The Ice Grooms are poisoned up and should go down as well. Right now it's only the Inferno Tower, so that's fine. But the Town Hall is going down with the spiky ball. Let's go.
Oh, he shoots that spiky ball in there and scores the goal with the King. What a nice play from Seleno. Royal Champion takes out the Minion Prince with the Rocket Spears. Now she's going to go ahead and take out that multi-Inferno, excuse me, on the right side. Warden finally gets that last Ice Golem down, and he's very healthy. 6 rocket balloons remain. But does he have enough force to get through here? Still about 25% of the base and 30 seconds remaining, just over 30 seconds remaining. And Seleno is looking to keep his team in this ball game.
Wow, we said they have to 3-star to make sure that this match can be close. And they're doing exactly that with their attacks. Now they have to hope for insane defense. We have seen earlier that this can happen. And wait. The time, right? Oh no!
Yeah, time
go faster, troops!
They get to time out. Oh, Queen's stuck on a wall. World champion. Oh
no!
96. It's a time fail. Seleno just ran out of gas there at the end.
Hi everyone. I hope we're going back to the game in just a second. And this means that they're going in with their Warden charge into the Rage Tower with that fireball.
Ghost's gonna come in with the roots. Oh, that's good. But yeah, man, it's tough. It really is tough because like you manage all that stuff. You deal with the crazy Warden charge, and then time gets you in the end there for Seleno. Ghost's gonna look to put this war away, which has been a pretty commanding war for HTM Esports. He's got the roots. This looks to be their go-to strategy right now. I believe all 5 of them have gone with some variation of the roots, really leaning onto the Warden charge into roots, which does really good. Great value here. Fireball lands on that Rage Tower. Negating that Rage Tower early is really, really huge. Not having to deal with that extra damage. You talked about those crazy numbers those Rage Towers can put out. Not having to deal with that is massive on these attacks.
Yeah, but the Rage Towers always brings this weakness with them of having this option of the Fireball, because if you want to utilize a Rage Tower, you have to stack defenses around it, and that typically is always exactly the range of the Fireball ability. The Root Rider is perfectly pathed behind the Town Hall, as there is the nice Rage, and then he can like really overpower the back end. I think like 2 or 3, like 3 Giants right now triggered the Giga Bomb right there, which is perfect for him. Another reason why this new Siege is such an amazing addition to the game. But as well, we have those snakes on the outside helping that Barbarian King to push everything a bit further. The question is, does he have enough power?
Yeah, he's got the overgrowth to negate some of that defenses in the middle, but once those wake up, it's gonna be a lot of damage in the middle of the base. But it's ultimately not gonna matter, as he's got the 2nd star secured, and that's all HTM needs to win this war. Obviously, Ghost wants to put up a 3-star for his squad, but it's a team effort, and his team has came to play here against the former world champions and Team Elevate, former Clash champs. Mostly the same roster here, but Ghost is looking a little bit shaky here as things starting to fall short. It's definitely going to be the worst attack for them, but ultimately it doesn't matter. A 2-star wins them the war.
Yep, the 2-star is already enough for the victory. And with that, I think they can be overall happy of staying in the upper versus Synchronic. And that match will be, I mean, that is going to be a crazy match, which I'm really looking forward to. On the other side,